Welcome to Two Dudes, One Movie Podcast, the podcast where two dudes dive into cinematic masterpieces from a different decade each week. Right now, we're in between seasons, and so instead of our regular scheduled programming, we're here with something new. It's time for some debates, and our debate today is going to be a good one. What is the best depiction of Santa Claus in a movie? Rick, there's been a lot of Santa Claus depictions in movies.
It's true, Park. But there's one greater than any other that I'll share with that later.
I think back to like the Johnny Bravo special where they save Christmas and that Santa depiction. I think to our debate that we just recently had with Claus and Miracle on 34th Street, which you might be hearing something about one of those in the very near future, Rick.
I'm excited.
Yeah, this is also going to be a little different than any of our other debates, and we're not going to shy away from this. We have not prepared for this one at all. This is all going to be on a whim.
Parker, I'm just going to dive in.
Well, hold on, Rick. You can't dive in. I know we didn't prepare, but everyone needs to hear how these debates work, Rick.
I'll wait to dive in. I'm antsy.
All right. I know you're antsy. I won't hold you that much longer. But again, for everyone who's new out there who hasn't listened to our other debate episodes, this is how it's going to work. Each side is going to have a chance to share their thoughts and opinions. And then after that, we will have a short rebuttal session. Then it's up to you. You decide who won the debate. So make sure to like, comment who you felt like won today's debate. It's the only way for us to feel any emotional satisfaction after this. So we're really counting on you, all of our listeners out there, to make their decision known. All right, Rick, that's all I need to do. Please, the stage is yours.
Mark, I had a lot of things I could have chosen. I could have chosen Dave Harbor, and whatever that movie was.
Silent Night, was it?
Silent Night. Could have done that. I could have done what's his face from Elf. But there was only one option here, Park. You had to do the Christmas movie that focuses on murdering Santa Claus and becoming him. And that is none other than Tim Allen. Now, yeah. I think that it's okay to have a great character in a movie, and the movies just are kind of just not that good, right? We saw an actor win best performance, whatever the crap the Oscar gave him, for a really movie that just kind of that I'm never going to watch again. I doubt you'll ever watch it again. And The Whale, it's okay. Great performance, great actor, movie, I think that's okay, Park. So Tim Allen, when I think of Santa Claus, I think of Tim Allen. Maybe that's just because I grew up in the time of Tim, on Tim the Toolman Taylor, Tim Allen playing Santa Claus.
Great era, Rick.
Toy Story, just absolutely incredible. And we understand, Park, that the Tim Allen Santa, he will do whatever it takes to remain Santa and give those kids some presents. He'll kill a man. Saw that in the first one. He'll marry someone after knowing them for just a few days. Saw that in the second one. I watched the third one once. I forget what happens, but I know that Jack Frost was in it, and I'm sure he faced off against him. He will do whatever it takes, Park. That's my closing argument.
Rick, that's really, really fascinating. I think that's a staple, especially for our generation. Santa Claus is Tim Allen. So great.
And he's out there. They're doing a show that I guess is out for a second season. I don't know why, but Tim Allen's in it, and I love him.
He's back, baby. He's back. I think he's trying to pass on the mantle of Santa Claus, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess even there is something that he can't defeat, Rick, and that is time. Time always wins.
It does.
Rick, but I'm gonna go ahead and just jump into my argument. Mine is, of course, Edmund Gwynn from Miracle on 34th Street, not venturing far away from my other debate last time. Again, epitomizes who Santa Claus is. And Rick, what I really love about this is he really brings Santa Claus to life in a really real and tangible way. This isn't Santa Claus flying on a sleigh. This isn't Santa Claus in the North Pole. This is a man in New York City who's very misunderstood by society because he genuinely believes and knows that he is Santa Claus in a world where people don't believe in that fairy tale, when in reality, it's so real, Rick. It's so real. And he never wavers in who he is. He never wavers in what he believes in and stands for. I think that that's really beautiful and very powerful, and that's a great representation of Santa Claus. Even in the face of adversity, when everyone is pushing back against you, you still have hope and you believe in the younger generations like Susie who are going to come and stand by you, Rick. I think just because of that alone, that is a great depiction. And I said this in my last argument, and I think it still stands. Edmund Gwynn as Santa Claus in Miracle on 34th Street walked so that Tim Allen could run and all of these other people. Everything comes back to that man, to that performance, to that movie. He is the reason that Christmas movies are the way and Santa Claus depictions are the way they are in Christmas movies, Rick.
Fuck. I'm chiming in right now, whether you're done or not, because I'm pissed.
Fine, Rick, break the rules. Chime in.
Just because the first person that ever built a little home after living inside of a cave, just because they built a little home doesn't mean that it's the greatest home ever built. That's where I'm just going. Tim Allen is the greatest home that has ever been built, Park.
Well, Rick, if he wasn't there to build the home, there wouldn't be anybody else there to build the city afterwards. So
It's true. But I don't even remember. I didn't give a thought to what the very first house ever looked like. Do you?
sometimes I like to look back
Sometimes
at our
you do.
history.
Or the very first kitchen, Park. I'm sure your kitchen right now is better than the very first kitchen.
It probably has some differences to it.
It probably does. Some differences for the better. And Tim Allen, Park, in the second movie, he not only played his regular Santa character, he also played his little robot Santa as well. This is a masterclass in acting that we see in each and every part of the trilogy. They lean in so hard on Tim Allen. They don't give a crap about the rest of the movie. We see that in this current series. We saw it in 3, a little bit in 2. 1 is just magic. And Parker, I think when I think of Christmas, I want to see I want all the Christmas songs that we listen to. We're talking about sleighs, we're talking about presents, we're talking about that. I give a crap about real life. I want this magical Santa that also murdered a man. I want to put that in there. He knows how to get it done.
But it's something really special when you're in the mundane of life, when you're in a courtroom and you can still find the magic to believe. Tim Allen needs all his fancy little gadgets, all his reindeers and his sleigh and all of his toys at the North Pole.
That literally Santa Claus. That is correct.
Yeah, but that's not the depiction of Santa Claus. That is the environment around Santa Claus. We're talking about the depiction of Santa Claus, the
I know, and
person.
Tim Allen brought that. They lean on it so heavily, Park.
I don't know. I would argue that they lean on the wondercism of everything around Santa Claus just as much as they do, where everything falls on the shoulders of Edmund Gwynn in Miracle 34th Street. He is
Everything
the
fell
movie.
on the shoulders of Tim Allen, Park. He had to save Christmas when Santa Claus died.
Rick, I think it's also important to know that sometimes you can't do things alone. And Edmund Gwynn, as Santa
Bernard the
Claus,
Elf was there.
needed help. He needed the help of others to believe in him to overcome the obstacle that he had in front of him.
Bernard the Elf and then the little elf that made him hot chocolate, they were with Tim Allen the whole way. He understood that as well.
Yeah, he was there so much they didn't even bring him back for the second or third movie, did they, Rick?
I think Bernard was there. Wasn't he there for the second?
I don't
Was
know.
he there? I thought he was there for all of them, just not the new
He's
series.
not there. He's not. No, he's back. He was back for the new series, but I don't think he was there for. At the very least, he definitely wasn't there for the third one. But I don't think he was in the second one either.
Well, I guess he just kind of sucked then. But you know who came every single time, Park? You know who was there? Tim Allen.
He was because he got paid lots of money to be
Because
in
he's the
those
best
movies.
Santa.
Edmund Gwynn, he probably got paid 5 nickels to be in a movie in the 30s. He still
That's
showed up.
probably true.
He still showed up every day, Rick.
That's probably a little pretty accurate.
So really, who's the best? Who's the best Santa Claus? The one that's doing it for the money, or the one that's doing it for the spirit of Christmas? Because nickels ain't gonna cut it, Rick.
Park, the spirit of Christmas is way more. Tim Allen carries that way more than I'm literally debating against a movie I saw one time in 8th grade, so it's very hard for me to even think of my points. I've only seen him in pictures and advertisements since then. So
Fair enough, Rick. Well, you need to rewatch it because it's a beautiful movie and it's a
I
classic.
never will, Park.
Rick, we'll watch it together. Maybe we should make that our Christmas movie we watch this year.
Yeah.
I know it won't be that this year, but maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll force you.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think we're kind of wrapping this one up, don't you think? It's kind of coming to its
we're just
decisive end. Yet again, another great victory,
So
I think, for myself.
The last question I need to ask the audience is: would you rather sit on the lap of the Santa from Eagle of 34th Street, or the great comfortable lap of Tim Allen?
Well, you at least know where you can find the lap for my guy. He's going to be in Macy's. Where are you going to go? The magical North Pole? You're going to take a plane to the North Pole? They don't even take planes to the North Pole. You got to take a stinking boat, Rick. And then there's no map or directions on where.
Just stay up. Just have a nice plate of cookies and stay up.
You can't sit on Santa's lap on Christmas. He's got too many places to be.
Park, he will make time for each and every gentleman and lady.
Now you're just throwing things out there. You can't assume that. What's the word?
Because I know.
What's the word in court that they say? Speculation, Rick. Objection. Speculation.
That's what these debates are. We're just speculating what the greatest thing is.
I beg to differ. I'm coming with facts and arguments to back up my opinion, Rick.
Park, you had no facts. Neither did I.
I don't know. Edmund Gwynn. He was caring and smart and gentle, stern in what he believed and represented.
That's literally every Santa Claus. You're doing nothing else that no other.
Tim Allen in the entire first movie up till the end was in denial about wanting to be Santa Claus. He didn't want to even be Santa Claus.
He brought some humanity into it. He realized there was a lot of work and he had to just figure it out. You're telling me that every single time you got a job offer, you just jump on it like crazy the very first day, Park?
It's a big job offer. Being Santa Claus is a pretty big job offer, and
he was trying to understand the sacrifices, the family aspect, the child. Charlie, I believe his name was.
All right, well, it's interesting debate you have going on here, Rick. But at the end of the day, it's not up for us to decide who the winner or loser is. It's up to all of our listeners. So please, all of our listeners out there, like, comment, and share. Let us know who won this debate. You guys are the deciding factor. And as always, you have been listening to Two Dudes, One Movie Podcast, the podcast where two dudes dive into cinematic masterpieces from a different decade each week. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. We're in the season of giving and love and all of that fun jazz. Make sure to celebrate by watching some of your favorite Christmas movies this year. I know we will be. And have a happy new year as we start to move into the New Year's season, Rick. Isn't that right?
That's how time works, Park, I believe. The New Year's season is going to come up pretty quickly.
So to all of you out there listening to us, thank you again so much. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Merry Christmas.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.